Hello, hello, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ricardo with Within the Trenches Media, and this is
Sarah Weston with 911 Wonder Women.
And we are about to get started with a National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week celebration that we are doing as we have partnered up with North Carolina's 911 board, and it's going to be awesome. We're about to get started here in just a moment, but we have 30 seconds so that we can do a couple things here on our end, and then we're going to have our first guest. So stand by one. All right, and we are back. We just wanted to take those 30 seconds here to get a couple things situated here and do the shares that we need to do. And, we are live here now from Jackson County 911 in beautiful Sylva, North Carolina, Western North Carolina, that is. And this is going to be fun. There's a lot of stuff that we've had going on the last couple days. Sarah had a crazy trip coming in, but we will get that. We will get to that here in just one moment because we have our first guest here and we have limited time with her. So we want to get her on here really quick. She was just finishing up another meeting and we are super excited to have her with us. We have Congresswoman Norma Torres. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Sarah and Richard. I hope you're all doing great this morning. And thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast on such an important week for 911 dispatchers across the U.S.
Yeah, this is going to be excellent. There have been a lot of things that have been going on online. There's been a lot of giveaways, but one of the things that I love the most, I'm not sure about you, Sarah, or even you, Congresswoman Norma Torres, but there are a lot of dispatch centers that are showing like their pride, all of the just decorations, the theme days, all of it.
Yes. I saw one. They all dressed up as inmates.
Oh,
Mugshots. On the other hand, there was Harry Potter. So,
well, there you go. Yeah. So there's a lot of different things going on right now. But I want to turn this over to you, Congresswoman. From your time in dispatch and everything, what all did you do? But also, what do you think of the importance of this week? Not just this week, but also every day throughout the year for our 911 telecommunicators, our 911 professionals.
Yes, as a former 911 dispatcher for 17 and a half years, 911 Telecommunicators Week in April has always been, a very special week to encourage the members of the public to, number one, properly use 911 when they're having an emergency only. I think it is so important for people to understand that the only time that it is okay for them to call 911 is when they are having a true emergency. And what is that? What is an emergency? It is a crime in progress, whether you're a victim or a witness, a medical emergency that where you are unable to get to the doctor on your own. So, those are the times that you should be calling 911. But for any other reason, you should be using that direct 7-digit number to the local police department, to their communication center. So I think that, this week is such an opportunity, not just to recognize the heroes that are always heard and never seen, but to educate the public about the proper and improper uses of 911.
For sure. There's a lot of things that are coming up, especially the education and all for the public to know, but also to know more about what it is that these folks on the front line do every single day. What are some of the things that you've seen more so, Sarah, in your group and also just around the country?
One of the things that I've noticed is a lot of like handwritten thank yous, either from the public or from school, because to your point, Congresswoman Torres, we have to start young teaching folks when to call 911. So kids in schools appreciating 911 dispatchers, which, starts to change the next generation of thought and respect for the profession. And adopt a dispatcher. I adopted a dispatcher. And what that is folks will have a list. And if you're interested in adopting a dispatcher, you can email. And it's really cool just to get different folks, maybe outside of 911, involved in this week to spread the word and get more appreciation.
It has been so tough for 911 centers across the country, over the last 3 years with COVID. I mean, these public servants went to work. They never stopped going to work. When they were sick, their colleagues were sick or their families were sick. If they were sick themselves, they had to stay home. But if their families were sick, they could not be the caretakers of anyone, because they had to go to work. So I think it's so important to think about these unsung heroes that are always there and available when we need them during, the worst time in our life.
So what were some of the things that you looked forward to during this week back when you were in dispatch? For me, and I think maybe speak for a lot of the dispatchers out there, there's a lot of snacks. Yeah, like
food.
Big things, right? But of course, there's the recognition and everything else. But I wanted to see, what were some of your thoughts?
Well, I look forward to all of the special guests that we used to have at our 911 center, from Hollywood actors to, local politicians, to people that may not like the police, but were curious about, this part of police work, of emergency work, and reporters that were always welcome to come through the 911 center and tour it. And help, the community understand, what it is, what it takes, to answer these calls for help.
And I think one of the last times we spoke, some of the things that you had mentioned as well is for kind of some advice, so a message out there to everyone was to get a hold of your local media and bring them in to be able to show that off. And I feel like a lot of people heard your message, because this whole week already, there is media all over the place showing what it is that everyone is doing. I even saw that there was, I don't want to say the word, but the Q word, the Q room, the room where people go to decompress. I'll put it that way,
and
so
not
that
make any noise.
I know, so that people aren't in the comments saying, "How dare you say that word?" But there's a lot of media attention and everything. How important do you think that is as well?
It's critically important. When people don't know what you do, it's quick and easy to defund the programs, and it's quick and easy to say, well, we need to reduce our budget here or there, and these are the positions that we're going to reduce. We have to focus on the work that these heroes do every single day, the amount of hours that they work, and the type of job that it has grown into. When I started as a 911 dispatcher way back in 1990, and when a dispatcher starts, today, this month, 2023, look, I only dealt with, landlines, old copper wire, phone lines. People dial the 3-digit number into 911. Those are the calls primarily that I handle. We slowly moved into answering 911 calls from cell phones. And then we had a different challenge, right? The address, the location where the caller was coming from was not always delivered and was not always correct, as people were moving from place to place and talking on the phone. But today's 911 dispatcher, they are getting text calls to 911. They will soon be able to get video to 911. Mm-hmm. And what that does to a person, the trauma that, because look, at the end of the day, these are human beings answering these calls. So, when you are exposed to hearing so much crime and violent things that human beings do to each other. Imagine someone having to listen to these types of calls day in and day out, and then having to go home and be that perfect mother, that perfect father.
Yes.
It takes a toll on them, on their mental health, and that is why I think we really have to pay attention to what is happening to this group of workers.
Yes, I, being 911 Wonder Woman and that
Yeah.
superhero, and I had a colleague recently write an article about superhumans being superhuman or being a superhuman, like a human being who makes mistakes, who has all of these things piled on him, has to deal with this trauma every single day. And what we expect out of them, and then what we give dispatchers in return in terms of respect and recognition. And it's crazy. And I'm always talking about us advocating for ourselves in 911 because people don't understand if you've not answered the call, right? So
Right.
what else can we do to advocate for ourselves in 911?
I would say, take advantage of your position, and sometimes critical calls and critical incidents. I think that we do our jobs you 911 dispatchers do your job so well that people never notice, if anything happened, because hardly ever does something go wrong where a 911 dispatcher doesn't do their job, doesn't perform, to what is expected. But I think that we need to talk about some of the calls and expose, our community to some of those calls. Learn how to lobby for yourself in your community. When I was a 911 dispatcher, and early on in my career, I took a call that I talk about a lot. 11-year-old girl's murder unfolded in my ears. I heard what I thought were screaming were actual words. I heard the gunshots that ended her life. I had to be a witness in the court case against her murderer. That took a toll on me. But I was able to turn this very, very negative circumstance into something positive. I started, promoting changes within my department. When I felt that I wasn't being heard, by my supervisors, I went to city council and I testified. And ultimately, we were able to get a $350,000 grant to the 911 center to improve the software equipment. We created a community outreach program to teach the public about a proper and improper uses of 911. And we improved training so that we didn't have so much turnover of 911 dispatchers and got them post-certified through the state of California. I mean, those were big wins for the citizens of Los Angeles that came out of this terrible tragedy. It is unfortunate, but I think, everyone can do that within their community. So don't let anyone stop you from being the advocate that you need to be for the people that you talk and for your coworkers.
Yes, I feel like we feel very small sometimes.
Yeah,
And
you're not. You're
what
so
difference can we make? But
yes.
I love that you found your voice through what happened and you used it and you continue to do so. And the 911 community appreciates it more than we can say.
And it is not just about improving the conditions and the training and the acknowledgement that these are no longer secretarial jobs, that these are part of the first responder cadre of people that triage every incident, no matter how big or small it is. We also have to talk about the software equipment that we use, the technical issues. I have been learning about cell phone calls to 911. I talk about it when I was a dispatcher that, that system was still improving, and cell phone companies, were very slow at upgrading their systems to be able to provide that critical information to find, the victim or the person that needs the help. I learned this week by visiting the 911 centers that it is slowly improving, but this is the year of 2023. I want to today encourage those cell phone companies that are still out there, crawling to improve technology for 911 dispatchers, that it is not okay, and that you have to utilize, your profits to ensure that the equipment and the information you are providing to these 911 centers is accurate, and it is quickly and readily available for the people that need this information in order to help save lives.
Yes, because as much as we do in 911 in terms of technology and building these networks and providing apps to help find the caller, if the providers aren't coming with us and working with us, it's not going to get to where it needs to be. So I'm so glad that you said that. I couldn't agree more.
I want to share, Ricardo, if I may, a call that I did not take this call. Someone else took the call, but the call came into the 911 center. And we believe that it was a child. We teach children to dial 911 when they need help. This child dialed 911 from a cell phone that had ran out of minutes. It was, pay by the minute type of cell phone. And again, this was back in the 90s. When that child dialed 911, he was in the middle of being abused. He was being kicked. He was being slapped. He was being yelled at, cursed at, everything that you can think of was happening to this child. Imagine you answering that call, that 911 call from the child, and not getting the location information of where that child was being assaulted. What do you do as a 911 dispatcher? And all the dispatchers could do during that time was listen to the crime and hope that somehow some information will come through in order to help and save this child. This is the trauma that 911 dispatchers go through every single day. And some of this trauma could be alleviated by people working together to paying attention to the systems that create the 911, this very successful 911 system. But don't forget about the humans that have to answer the call.
Perfect. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot for people to think about and to take in and everything. And we are so excited and so happy that we were able to have you here, even for a limited amount of time and everything. Thank you so much for being such a great advocate for the 911 professionals of really the world, everyone all around here. So
I know, but I have to do a pitch really quick about the 911 Safe Act.
I was going to see you go ahead.
Because you are in North Carolina, I think that, everyone in North Carolina, that dispatch center should send a shout out to Senator Burr. And he's a Republican from North Carolina who was my co-author. He was my partner in the Senate side when we introduced the bill in the last Congress. Look, Republicans and Democrats together need to work on this bill to ensure that 911 dispatchers are recognized for the work that they do. So send him a shout out and continue to work more members so that we can get this bill introduced and passed in this Congress. Thank you again.
Yes.
And I have to tell you before you go, director here in North Carolina, Pokey Harris, wants to personally thank you for coming on and being part of the celebrations. Thank you so much to all of you. We appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you very, very much. And I'll go ahead and drop you down there and you can go ahead and go. But again, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate it more than you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was awesome.
That was so cool.
Yes, that was excellent. And I apologize. I had it got dry in here or something. I had a tickle in my throat.
I thought we were going to lose you.
I thought I was going to have to run out. Yes, I thought I was going to have to run out.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yes, I popped in a Halls and the yes. Go ahead and throw your headphones on there, and we'll make some adjustments here. So we're going to go ahead and continue on everything that we're doing here. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything, please throw them in the comments there. One of the things that I want to do here really quick is to make sure to share a link with all of you. There's about almost 50 people who already registered. We have some giveaways that we're going to be doing here pretty soon. So I'm just going to throw this link in. All you have to do is add your name and your email address, and then after, we're going to be taking a break here in a little while. We'll be taking a break. We'll be going off air, and that is when I'll be closing off that part for that giveaway, and then we'll be doing the giveaways towards the end of the second half when we go on. So there it is right there in the comments. So it is all there. Make sure to check that out. You can click the link from there and then fill out the registration, and we will go from there. So this has been excellent already so far. And thank you, sir, for joining us here. And welcome.
Thank you. And I would like to officially say welcome to Jackson County.
All right. Yes,
Silva, North Carolina. It's a beautiful day. And I know you guys had a little delay, but I hope you had a good trip here. And I think you'll find that folks here in Jackson County are welcoming, and we appreciate you coming and giving attention to this important issue, telecommunicators, and just welcome to Jackson County.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. Everyone's been so nice.
Yes. It has been excellent. As soon as we pulled in, it was great. There was hugs and everything. So, so it has been fun. So please, for our audience, for those who are watching and all, a little background on you, and also, part of this week, what it means to you as well.
Okay. My name is Don Adams. I'm county manager here in Jackson County, and I have the fortune and pleasure to be here in this county for the last 7 years. And today and this week, it is here to honor our telecommunicators. And again, we appreciate you guys willing to do this podcast regarding that. And what this means to me, it really is. I think today you're going to see a lot of officials come through and talk to you about the importance of telecommunications. Our 911 center, it really is the beginning, the start. When somebody, generally is experiencing sometimes their worst days of their lives, this is almost the first interaction that they have when they're trying to get assistance. And so the importance, I think you'll find, I don't think I can really expound it. You're going to see a lot of people today that really can probably explain it a lot better than me. But the importance is obviously just that first contact, and then providing support for the person who's in an emergency, but also providing support to the emergency responders. And those two components right there, you just cannot expound the importance of a telecommunicator in emergency situations.
Yes, for sure. There's a lot of things out there now, especially now, because especially with the technology and the way to be able to show resources and everything that everyone does on the front line. But before, like when I was dispatching, I started in 2001, and I didn't know. Did you know before you got into 911?
Oh, heck no.
But I think, stuff like this, what we're doing is very good to be able to show everyone out there, not just the general public, but everyone, especially out in the field as well, what it is that 911 dispatchers and call takers do on a daily basis, that they're not just answering the phone, that there is so much more to it.
Absolutely. And you're here at our 911 center. We're proud. This center was built in 2014, and we have attempted to continue to invest in the center here. I think you'll find more information when you start going down the line of the people you're going to interview today. But this, we do have 4 areas of response. We generally staff about 3 of those areas. We have about 12 full-time employees, and we just upgraded our systems here recently. within the last year, and we continuously try to invest in that, and also our emergency operations center, which you see right just on the other side of that wall. And I think it is important for people to understand that you do have to continuously invest into the technology and into the people that operate the technology in order for it to work correctly. And I am proud to say that I believe Jackson County and our community here understands we still have to educate them that we have to continue to fund and support. But I am proud to say that I think we've done a pretty good job, and we'll hopefully continue to do so.
Awesome. Well, I hope that before we end up splitting today, that we get to see a little bit more, because I mean, just that room over there that you're talking about alone for emergency management is pretty awesome.
So nice.
There's a lot of good things in there, and again, like you were talking about as well, embracing the technology. I can see that as well. So that is really good.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here. And I believe we're going to be switching out for Pokey.
And if I could, real quick,
Yes.
I just want to say I greatly appreciate our employees, our telecommunicators this week.
Yes.
Belinda Clausen and Todd Dillard, our EOC manager, our director. They do a great job, and all of our staff does a great job. And I just want to extend appreciation for them from myself and from the Board of Commissioners. So
All
thank you.
right. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. So we are still currently live. What I want to do here, I want to try something really quick. I'm going to get in front of the camera for everybody who's watching. So I'm about to get close.
Extreme close up.
Oh, he's just showing your shirt, Sarah.
Yeah.
There we go. Just widen it up just a little bit more. So why don't you take this one? This is an introduction.
Hi, Pokey.
My friend, many years. Sarah and I have been friends for many years.
Yes. So let me say a few words about Miss Pokey Harris. She's the director here in the state of North Carolina. She is a leader not only in North Carolina, but nationally, part of the National Association of State 911 Administrators. Highly, highly respected. We did a meeting this past summer where we came together with every state to talk about interoperability. And I just remember Pokey got up and spoke, and the things that you all are doing here in North Carolina are incredible. One of the things Congresswoman Torres said was we have to work together as people to make this happen. And that's one of the things that's happening here in North Carolina because of Pokey's leadership. So we appreciate you.
It's the lack of my technical skills. I have people skills. So I have to put those to work. So that's what I know how to do, bring people together. And just what a fabulous group here of people. That's my thing. I love people, and I love to recognize people and to highlight what they're doing, to showcase what they're doing. Again, I'm the least technical crayon in the box. Is that a good analogy? No, crayon's color. So I'm the least technical tool in the box. How's that? So, but I love to bring people together. And I think that's the interoperability, and whether it's the telecommunicator talking to that person on the phone, the worst day of their life, trying to help them with that, or whether you're an IT technician or a telephone technician, whatever you are, your skill set, it still involves people and that communication and that interoperability. So that's what I bring to the box. And folks, I want to say thank you all. Flying in, early flights, red-eye flights, falling asleep in your hotel room floor,
Falling off the
bed. Thank you. Just so everyone knows.
That was a story for another time.
Yes. So I want to thank my friends for coming here so we can showcase the telecommunicators here in North Carolina and what they do, that overall interoperability with, our 10 million citizens, 7 million 911 calls, 3,000 telecommunicators. They truly are the first responders. So we're so appreciative of them. And with that, I think maybe up might be a telecommunicator to come and talk. I don't want to take their time.
It might be, yes. But before you leave, I do want to ask and have you kind of say, how did all of this come about? What we're doing right here?
Well, our friendship of many years, and me. Are you talking about where I ran you down when we were in Florida? And I said, Ricardo, I have an idea.
I had a limp afterwards. Like, she tackled me. No, I'm just playing.
no,
That didn't happen.
no, I had this thought for a while that, last year we did the virtual.
Yes. Yep.
And it was so successful. And I thought, wow, if I could get Sarah to come, and then we could do this live and in person from a PSAP, because that's who it's all about.
Right.
And when I pitched the idea, I did not have to kick you. You were like, that's a great idea.
Because she had already tackled me.
Yeah.
I
I had it in the floor.
She's like giving me noogies and stuff. Just like, is it a good idea?
So that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Is let's go live, because so many people know who you are in the trenches. Not one Wonder Woman. That's so hard to say, Sarah.
I know, I'm sorry.
But it's perfect. It's perfect. Not one Wonder Woman. It's wonderful, and to be able to really highlight our heroes.
Mhm.
And you go all over the place. I knew you wouldn't turn me down because you fly everywhere. So,
And when you called me, I was in the car with my mom. We were driving home from Georgia. So my mom wouldn't let me say no.
Yes.
Sarah, you do that.
You have to do that. That's right. Your mama was there. She said, I like this girl, Pokey. You go to help her do whatever she needs. So I'm like, yay, Sarah's mama. But it was an idea to just to expand on what we did last year and to make it a little better. So now I'm like, what are we going to do next year? Put your thinking caps on. Maybe folks can
barbecue, a bounce house, and
definitely a bounce house.
Folks start texting ideas about next
Slip and
year.
slide.
Yes. Slip and slide. Yes. That'll be good.
So also let me put in a pitch here for our photo contest that we're doing all the PSAPs in North Carolina. Send your photos of this week. It's we have a winner that will do pizza. For the first place winner, PSAP, all their shifts, and then we'll do cupcakes for the second place, all their shifts.
I want cupcakes.
And we go and we visit the secretary, who is the chair of our 911 board. He'll travel with some of the board members, our staff, and we go and we just say thank you for all that you do.
Awesome.
That is perfect. That is excellent.
I can't wait to see the pictures.
I know.
Yes.
Those are always the best.
We need judges. You're in.
Oh, yes. I'm
Yes. Yep. Judges for the photo contest. We'll use you. Yes.
All right. Well,
So-
awesome. This is great.
So
I
think
don't accept bribes.
So you won't eat one of the cupcakes?
Like cupcakes.
Cupcakes. So I do believe that we're switching up the schedule a little bit, and Lauren, Britton, and Heather Connor, I think, from Macon County are
Okay.
next, and
All
we'll
right.
let Sarah. So these are the heroes. These are the heroes that the folks that you came here to talk to. So I'm going to
will
slide
be
out of the
good.
seat.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank
And Sarah
you.
will just happen to tell folks that we've been friends for 20 years.
Okay.
And so, I've got to see her grow from 911 childer to 911 Wonder Woman.
That's true.
So-
That's true.
So I'm going to slide these off. Thank you, friends.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pokey.
All right. So we are going to be having folks coming in and out here in this chair right here, and just sharing some stories and all. And this will be fun. This will be good.
So there you go.
All right.
That's cute.
Here, I was going to say, I can move here just a little bit here. All right. Well, hello, and welcome to this live celebration that we're doing on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn Live. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Is that too much pressure? Or no, you're good?
Yeah,
No, come on.
just a little bit.
No,
Not used to pressure.
The job that
Right.
the job that you do is one that not a lot of people can do, and it's an honor to have you both here.
Thank
And
you.
to be able to meet you and just kind of hear a little bit about your stories and how you got started. So let's go ahead and start out. So your name, please.
Heather Connor,
Heather. Thank you.
and this is Lauren back here in the
All right.
floor.
Yeah.
We're on chairs.
Yes.
That's okay.
So how did you get started in public safety to begin with?
It's just something I've always kind of wanted to do. I had a family member that was in the fire service, and he kind of was like, "Hey, ever thought about dispatching?" That was like 18 years ago, 19 years ago. So just took a whim, put an application in, and here I am.
Basically how a lot of people end up saying that, that
That's
they
on
end up,
brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I just kind of
it
fell
is-
into it.
I did. Yeah, kind of did. I kind of walked away for it about 8 years. I'm a paramedic, so
Mhm.
went and rode the truck for a while, but
Oh,
then I just
wow.
came back
Wow.
October.
Very cool.
Oh, so what were some of the differences there?
Well, of course, hands-on, of
Yes.
course, you know, actually walking in and seeing the patient that you're working with or talking to on the phone. And so that's a big difference, the hands-on. But being a paramedic has definitely helps me work back in the chair, as I like to say. So
Nice.
Oh yeah, can you like visualize when they're describing injuries? Can you kind of visualize what's
yeah, I do.
happening?
But now I will say that a lot of times of what they tell us is not necessarily what you find when you get there too.
Right,
So
right.
Yeah.
Very true. Yes. Yeah. When a lot of times when folks come into dispatch, when they've been, EMT or fire or whatever first, it's a little bit of a hard transition because
Right.
you're used to being hands-on and you've got all these different policies and you're like, hey,
Right.
it's different. We're just on the phone now. So
Yeah, exactly.
do you remember some of your early calls that you had taken?
I do actually. We were just talking about that earlier. I do have some that I do remember that stick out in my mind. A big one that sticks out in my mind that always will was a child that was attacked by a dog, actually in this county, but because of cell phones, it went into our center.
Right.
But it was like a coordinated working, together that we were able to get him help, and he made it through everything. And it was just a really, really great way to coordinate everybody, and we all worked together and had a common goal in the end. And it's just one that really sticks out in my mind. Always will.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's good because you remember the all of that, but the teamwork that went into it as
Right.
well.
Absolutely.
But also later on, did that change you at all in the sense that only reason I ask is because I know some of the calls that I have taken, some things have changed or at least have made me more aware. So I guess that's what it is. Like when you see a dog, does that kind of take you back a little bit?
And now having kids of my own, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
You definitely see things, and yeah, I'm a worry mom, of course, because of just working in this office for
Right.
18 years.
Yes. So about this week, how do you feel about this week and the importance of it?
I think it's really great that I would like people to know more about telecommunicators and what we do. I think a lot of people just think we answer the phone, honestly, but we don't. I would like to see it, more publicized and put out there more what we do.
Yes.
Awesome.
So,
excellent. Well, it is awesome to have you here. I want to switch up here really quick so we can get some more information on Lauren as well.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's looking forward to it. Look at her.
You can see it on her face. Well, this is good. Well, okay, let's switch it up here. And we'll hear your story. Thank you for sharing
Thank you.
some of your
Thank you,
story
guys.
and
This is
what
really
it is
awesome.
that you do.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people for me, I grew up watching Rescue 911 and that's all I knew, but it was always a good ending,
I watched that as
right?
well.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, that's kind of what's the image that's stuck in their mind, and it's completely different
It
now.
is. Absolutely.
Right. Yes, for sure. So, Lauren, how did you get into dispatching to begin with?
I started about 15 years ago, actually in Florida, and had a friend that was a paramedic that kept telling me to apply, and I did. And I was super nervous and didn't expect to move forward with the interview, and then got called back for the second one and got the job. And not something I ever wanted to do, but love it and couldn't see myself doing anything different.
That's awesome.
Yes.
What part of
Gets
Florida
a
were
new
you
pride.
from?
Central Florida, Lake County.
Me too. I
Oh,
live
really?
in Seminole County. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just down there last week.
Oh, and I started my dispatch career in Polk County. So
Oh, you were south of us.
yes, yes, where almost every story of #Florida Man comes from.
Yeah.
Polk County.
I have
Yes.
several myself. Yes.
Yes.
Along I-4 in particular.
So that's awesome. So you end up getting into it and everything, and it just kind of gets into your blood. And
Yes.
that's the way a lot of people say that, right? They say it gets into your blood, and then that's what you're doing. Was there a moment at all where you it just solidified the fact that you were in the place that you were meant to be in? Was there a phone call or anything like that, or just kind of felt it when you were in dispatch?
I think I just felt it. When I moved to North Carolina, I actually decided I was not going to do it anymore. It kind of seemed to get really political, and I was like, I might just do something else. And then when we moved here, I actually had to call 911 for a wreck that we witnessed. And when they answered, and I'm like, what are they going to ask me? Are they going to do right? And when the units got on scene and I could hear the radio traffic, I was like, okay, I need to be back in it.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yes. No,
It
that
pulled
is
you back in.
Yes.
awesome. So then you've been doing this for how long now, you said?
15 years altogether.
15 years.
11 here in May.
Awesome. So then, same question to you as well about this week. You know, how important is this, and for those to learn more about what it is that y'all do on a daily basis?
I think it's important for the dispatchers to feel that they're kind of the unsung heroes or unspoken. Not a lot of thanks goes to them when it comes to the significant calls or things that happen. And I think it's good for them to just have that reminder as they move forward.
Awesome. Excellent. How about some of your earlier calls or anything that you yourself have taken?
I've taken a ton.
Yeah.
The ones that are the worst are involving children. I'm a mother, like she said. You know, our job kind of affects, I think, the way that we parent moving forward. You know, I always
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
take calls that I've taken before. And then, you know, when you make a difference, you know, you helped somebody, they brought somebody back and EMS was able to transport them, or a baby was born. Those are the ones that remind you this is why we're doing it.
I think that's one of the biggest things is to remember that, right? Because there's
Yes.
a lot of times, and I think you and I had a conversation. Maybe it was someone who told you that they write down all of their wins. Like after a phone call, they write that down so that when they're having a bad day or taking a hard call or whichever, they look at that and remember why it is that they do what they do and that there is an impact.
Yes. That's a great idea.
So as we go into the wrap up with the both of you here, one quick question. So if you've got 15 years, right? So if you could go back in time to talk to yourself with the knowledge that you have now, what advice would you give yourself? Or Heather as well, if you want to jump in here and
Heather.
What advice would I give myself?
yeah.
Hang in there,
Mhm.
you know, because I did leave for a period of time to be, became a paramedic, which, you know, I'm very proud of. But this is my passion. I came back, you know, and I feel like I jumped right back into doing what I was doing. And it's definitely my passion. You know, I worked with paramedics for like, this is my passion and everything. And I just wasn't quite there. So now I definitely would have said, hang in there. You got this.
Perfect.
It's okay. It all worked out then. So.
Oh, that is good. Well,
Yeah.
thank you both very much for jumping on with Sarah and I during this live broadcast to share your stories, a little bit about yourselves and, the importance of this week. So thank you.
Thank
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Yes,
Thank you
nice
for
to
all
meet you
you
as
do.
well.
Thank you.
This has been awesome. So so we've got
so
we've
good.
got some more folks that are going to be joining us here in just one moment.
Oh, man. We're coming in from every door now.
All right. Yeah. So we're in a little room here, and there's two different doors. So we're watching as people are coming in, but also like clock time.
Yes.
We're keeping everything in as much as possible. So this is good. All right. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Your name, please.
Brent and Allison.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, Brent, for joining us here. And just for the audience and everything, just a little background, a bit of a background on yourself, how you got started, all that good stuff.
Okay. I've been here about 18 years.
Mhm.
I started back in 1997. I left for a few years. I came back and I've been here 18 straight. Volunteer fireman, retired. That's about.
That's such a theme. Everyone we've talked to
Yes.
left and came back.
Yeah. What was yours then? Was it just in your blood that much, like others?
It was, and I was recently divorced at the time when I came back, and I thought it would give me more time with my son,
Oh, nice.
and that was part of it. Of course, I love doing it, so that was the other reason.
All right. Excellent. So how about this week? What is the importance of this week, or how much does this, mean to you as well? Being the fact that you've done this for so long, you also came back and everything, of course, family reasons, but there's something there. Like I can feel it.
I think it gives us a chance to show what we do, of course. Gives us a little praise, so to speak, because usually we don't get a lot. We're the last to know anything. And it's good for people to see what we do on a daily basis.
Now, do you feel like it's changing? Like, how about you, sir? Do you feel like a lot of the culture and what's going on there, that it's actually getting out there? Like people learning more is what I'm getting at.
I hope so. It seems that way from where we sit. I know some places do more than others. I know there's still 911 centers that don't do anything for this week, and that's sad, but I think maybe with the advent of social media too, with that getting more popular and people sharing what they do, that's really important because it makes the importance of recognizing telecommunicators known.
Right. And that too, I've noticed in the last 5 years, it's really big. Get more, we've always had it here. As long as I've been here, they've always honored us in some way, got us a pizza lunch or done something for us. But I've noticed in the last 5 years, like you say, social media, and it's getting bigger than what it has been. And I like it.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that is really good. What is something that, for those who are watching, what is something that you would want them to know about, what it is that you do on a daily basis on the front line, answering these emergency calls that are coming in, something that they might not know?
I mean, we are the true first responder.
Yes.
We are there when nobody else is there.
Mm-hmm.
We have to draw a picture. I mean, we don't see, but we are the true first responder. We're the first one there. We know what's going on. We develop a relationship with our callers sometimes to where we can paint a picture, if you will, of what's going on. We can tell our responders. But without us, they won't know. I mean, back in the past, like I said, I started in 97, and just from that to today is just an amazing, things have changed so much. Somebody calls saying they're having chest pains, you just send an ambulance to X address. I'm having chest pains.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the way it was. And now we've got all the scripted ProQA, EMD, EPD, EFD. It's just changed so much over the years. And I think that helps us to become the first responder, first responder.
Yes.
Quick question. Do you have your EMD and everything like on the computer?
Yes.
I'm so jealous. I say that because when I was in dispatch, so I started in 2001, and then around 2005, 2006, I moved back home to Southwest Michigan from Florida. And, we had to be EMD certified there at the central dispatch that I was at. But we had the flip charts, like we had the cards. So we're flipping and flipping and flipping. So every time someone says something about having it on the computers, I'm like, oh.
Nobody understands. I know what you're going through. When we had the flip card. So it was, especially if you got a CPR call, you never could get the right card.
Yeah.
Never fail.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'd always miss it or get the infant or what have you. It never fails.
Yeah. You flip to the one and you start reading it. Oh, hold on. You're like, this isn't the right one.
You start reading, you're like,
Right. Yeah. Tie the shoelace 6 inches down from the belt. Nope, that's the wrong one. I'm on the labor card. That's not the one I want.
I'm trying to save somebody.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And you're not panic, but you're rush, you're trying to move as quick as possible to start the instructions because, seconds count. And
Yes.
Gosh, that's like a nightmare I would have, like a frustration dream, like trying to get the
Right.
It was a learning curve. We
Mhm.
got our new CAD system in 2009, and that's when we got the ProQA software. And it was a learning curve, but once we figured it out, it was simple.
It was good to go.
Yeah, you just click. If you mess up there, you've clicked the wrong thing.
Oh. They make it a lot easier for you. Well, thank you so much, Brent, for joining us. We've got another person that's going to be coming in here, but thank you very much for the job that you do and your
Yes,
time,
sir.
your service, and especially during this week, but throughout all year, every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate
We
that.
appreciate you.
So this has been good. I've been trying to keep up with the comments here as
Oh,
well.
gosh, I
So
forgot about the
hello
comments.
to those in Connecticut. We've got folks all over the place jumping in here. We've got someone over here, Clay County in Alabama. Hello.
Hi, Kimber.
Yes, Kimber's up in here as well. Wait,
What do you mean? Get a shoelace?
Yes, that's part of one of the cards. Yes. This has been really good. So going through and have my list here and everything. So hello,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi.
Yes, we are happy to have you
I
here.
love
with
your
us.
glasses.
Thank you.
Cute.
Yeah, those are awesome. Yeah, very, very nice.
First things first, okay?
Yeah,
Right.
first things first, the glasses.
Yes.
Check out the
The
glasses.
details.
Yes.
This is good. So please, for those who are watching, your name and then a little bit of your background.
Christy Castellan. I'm actually from Buncombe County, which people might know Asheville, North Carolina a little bit better. That's
Yes.
Asheville's inside Buncombe County.
Always
so
wanted to go there. I haven't
that's where we
been
are,
yet.
yeah. I have been in dispatch for 13 years now, and recently made it into position of training manager. So
oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
So that's where I'm at these days. Getting into comms, though, I was raised in a law enforcement family.
Oh,
So dad was a state trooper, mom was a deputy, stepdad's a deputy.
Wow.
So they had a job opening, and one of the ladies who worked in comms got up with my mom and was like, "Hey, you should bring her up here, see if she likes it." So I went in and I was like, "I have to work here. This place is amazing."
yes. Oh, that's great. So you got a chance to do a sit along then.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, that's something that our agency has looked at doing now, because, people sometimes get hired on and then get there and they're like, what is going
Mhm.
on here? This is crazy. But
Yeah.
How long did you sit in there?
I sat for one shift. So
Wow.
I did get to sit for one shift and watch everything. And I was like, oh my God,
Wow.
they know everything that's going on everywhere.
Yes.
That is pretty awesome, because a lot of times from people that I've spoken to, or when I was in dispatch and had people sitting with me, they would stay for maybe 2-3 hours.
Right.
And if they stayed about 3 to 4 or more, then we knew this person is, they're very, very
Yeah.
interested, but you were in there for an entire shift.
Yeah.
Was it an 8 or 12 hour?
It was 12.
What?
Yeah. I pulled it 12. Like, this is it. I can't leave. I have to know what happens.
That's
Yeah.
dispatch right there.
It
Yes.
is totally.
So cool.
Yes, that is
Very
awesome.
cool.
Before I ask you this next question, I have to point this out and put it on the screen. Hi, Christy. I'm Christy's mom,
Aw.
and she is the best. So
Aw.
shout out to you.
Thanks.
Yes,
Mom.
yes. Hi, Mom.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, that is awesome. That
Well,
is
there you
cool.
go.
Right.
Yes, that is very cool. When I
What's better than that?
She's
I
my
know.
biggest fan. So,
hey, that's the best. When I do open mic live on here and we're sharing like some crazy, like sometimes raunchy
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
my mom will pop in the audience and she'll say, "Hola." I'm like, "Oh my Lord, how long have you been there listening?"
Not today, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. So, how about some of your like earlier calls? Do you remember a lot of those?
I had been in training for about a month, and I took a homicide call. The guy called in and said that he had just murdered his little brother and how he had done so.
Oh,
and
my.
1 month to the day after I'd really started training. So like it was a make or break moment. Like, what do you do here? Where do you go? But I had a trainer there with me. And if you ever listen to the 911 call, like you can hear her in the background, like, keep going. Like, this
Yeah.
is what we have to do. And so it sparked not only my love for the job, but also training, because she was just right there. Like, let's do it. You got it. Guiding me through the whole thing. But yeah,
Wow,
that's pretty wild.
Yes, no, that is amazing, because a lot of times, like you said, make or break moment.
Yeah.
A lot of times people will end up, in my experience,
Yeah.
that people have taken a break and then they don't come back.
They don't come back.
No,
Yeah.
they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, where's so and so? It's like, I think they left.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
This wasn't the job. So yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's good too that you come from the type of family that you come from, but also it sounds like you got a good support system
Yeah.
to be able to kind of talk through a lot of that
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. It's great. I've got obviously my awesome mom. My sister's
Yeah.
sister's a dispatcher in the room with me. So
Oh,
she works at like the night
So
shift. So we
cool.
get to do that. And then my husband's also incredibly supportive. So I'm thankful for that huge support system.
that is
So
excellent.
important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about your trainer, because I think good trainers
Oh,
spur good trainers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I preach that all the time.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Is your mother-in-law in Canada?
Yes.
She's watching right now.
Oh,
Mother-in-law
Hi.
here in Canada.
Oh,
Proud of my
hi.
girl.
International.
it
Yes.
is. Yes.
That is awesome. That is
So cool.
Everybody's checking in.
yeah. So again, that is excellent that you have
And your
that support
director.
system.
Oh,
Oh,
is-
your director is also.
is Derek in here?
Yeah.
Hi, Derek. I told you I would do
Boom.
okay.
She's doing great.
He was like, don't embarrass
Oh,
us.
she's representing y'all so well.
Yes. Oh man, that is excellent. So really quick before
Yeah.
we switch off here, because we've got, as I've been telling
a
you, we've got
revolving
people.
door.
Yeah, we got people that are watching and are like, but
Yeah.
this is good.
Yeah.
That is really good because that's what we need to be able to keep on track. Because this paper is one thing, but we need someone to tell us. So the importance of this week. What does this week mean to you?
Oh, it's huge. It puts nameless, faceless people most of the time in the spotlight. I like our social media page. And even our county has done spotlights on our telecommunicators this week that shared a Facebook page so our community can go and be like, oh, I think I called and spoke to that person one time. Well, there she is. She's a human and
Yeah.
she's a real person.
Right.
So I think it kind of adds the humanity into what's normally not there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us and
thank
for the job that you
you.
do. This was a lot of fun, and also
Yeah.
having all your peeps coming in here
Your
too.
fan club.
My huge fan club.
Yes. You didn't know, now you know.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank,
Thank you.
you. Thank you for all you do. Oh, that's so great.
Yes,
I
this
love
is
when the
excellent.
family comes.
Yes, so good. I love it.
Okay,
All
what
right.
door? Which door are we?
Yeah.
We're coming in
Which
this
door
coming in this
is the next
door
one?
number 2.
Yeah. All
How are y'all
right.
doing?
Hey, y'all.
Hello, hello.
Come on in.
Get over there and sit somewhere in the corner.
Yeah. Come. Do you want my
Hey,
chair?
nobody
Oh,
puts
I'm
you in the
ready.
corner.
Oh yeah, we put him in the corner.
First of all,
This is already starting out
you
great.
have a great voice.
Yes,
Well, thank you.
I enjoy
Yes.
that.
this
Maybe
is good.
you can take my spot.
Not to step up out of the electric chair, would I?
So, as we've got other folks that are going to be coming in here as well, we're going to be rotating between the three of you. But first, you, sir, for the audience, your name, and if you can scoot in here just a little more. There we go.
Let's get close.
Because it was just like a portion of your face.
That's all you want.
No, bring it in for the real thing. Here we are. So, your name and a little bit of background, please.
My name is Todd Dillard. I'm the Emergency Management Director for Jackson County, and I have the 911 department under me, and they're a great bunch of people. So I'm 6th generation Jackson County.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, we were here when.
Wow.
Yeah, we've
That's
been here a long time.
ago. Sorry, I was doing the math. in my
That's a
head.
long time.
Yeah.
6 generations. We really are.
Wow, Very
Wow.
cool.
Absolutely. So, it's home. It's home. So,
Sure is.
but welcome to Jackson County. I know our county manager said welcome, but welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful place.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
We
Excellent
don't we
area.
don't see the beauty as much as people who've never been here before.
Right,
So,
right.
yes. So, welcome.
So
Thank you.
I just have to say that if this area does any commercials, kind of like Michigan does their Pure Michigan, and they have their narrator, you should be the narrator for those
Yeah.
commercials,
You should.
or like whiskey commercials or something.
Absolutely. I'm all in.
Oh,
I'm on the clock.
No,
we take that back.
I'm gonna think about one of the commercials. you're good for.
I know.
That's good.
As you were talking, I was already picturing it in my head and stuff. So you're 6th generation and everything, and so you just kind of followed suit with all of it as well. But how far does were you in dispatch? Was it police, fire, EMS? Have you done it all, or has it just been emergency management? Take us through that.
I have been a volunteer firefighter for 40 years.
Wow.
I'm a former paramedic, and I was never a dispatcher. I admire the people who do it. I have a great staff. I'm
Mhm.
so fortunate and blessed across the board, fire marshal, everyone. But I can't do what they do. And I tell them that. I said, I can go in there and when it gets busy and I'll try and help them a little bit, and they ask me to leave. So,
I'm sure very, very politely and respectfully.
oh yeah, okay, we're good now. You can leave.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Go.
Get
They're
out.
like, yeah.
Get out.
Like,
Because they
curtain
know
over
that
here.
sweat will start running down my nose, and things like that.
That is the indicator that it's time to go.
Your voice gets 5 octaves higher. Like,
Oh,
geez.
yeah.
Right.
I don't talk like this on the air.
Like, your voice is usually a lot deeper, and it's way up here.
It's way up here. Exactly. Okay, Todd, you can leave now.
Yeah. So, how about the importance and the impact that all of your folks do? Like, how important is it rather for those out there, whether it be in the general public or other field responders, to know what it is that they do?
Absolutely. They are the true tip of the spear.
Mhm.
When that 911 call is placed, they are the first that people are talking to. And their stress level goes from 0 to 100 in 2, maybe 1 phone ring.
Mhm.
When they're just hanging out, sitting around, in a slow time, that next phone call could be a career-ending call for them, because it may be that mother that is calling with that baby who is dead, and that dispatcher is having to tell that mother how to do CPR on that child, or a grandfather or a brother, whatever.
Mhm.
Someone's breaking into someone's house. It is, they have to be comforting. Multitasking is huge in that job, because you're trying to listen on the telephone, you're giving that information out on the radio, and you're putting information in the computer. I admire them so much for what they do. I really do. People they don't understand. And what's sometimes even harder than that is they don't find out what happened at the end of the call.
Mhm.
Yes.
Did that
Closure.
person survive? Did what happened? And it's hard on them. It really is.
Couldn't have said it any better. No, correct. Very much so. Thank you very much for being here. We're gonna rotate here, and
Their voice is
we
not as good
appreciate
as mine.
it. Oh, snaps!
Sing low.
Oh my gosh, do you take requests?
I know.
Thank you for being here.
Love
Yeah,
is a battlefield.
no, thank you. This
Thank you.
is good.
Now we'll get the real story when you leave the room.
I'm going to go watch them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, snaps!
It's a little
And I love that as we're rotating through this, we're live all the time. There's no stop. There's no stop. We're live. Once again, we just want to thank all of you for being here, watching us throughout Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. This has been a lot of fun already so far. We've got about 30 or so minutes, and then we're going to be taking a break, and then we're going to be coming back for another set of guests who are going to be coming on, whether it be in person or virtually. So, your name, please.
My name is Caitlin Britton.
All right. Welcome. And then a
Nice
little
to meet you.
background. Yes. Very nice to meet you.
I work here with emergency management part-time. I am a student at the local University of Western Carolina,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What are you majoring in?
emergency management.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
So I started here in May as an intern and I got hired in August part-time and I've been here ever since. So
Wow.
Nice.
So cool.
All right. What is the whole internship entail? What is in there?
I mean, basically, Todd's my boss, so I do what he tells me to do, but it's different every day, and that's what I love about it. It's not the same stuff every day. We might be in the schools with the kids one day, and then we might be here working on a project for ourselves another day. So
I think that's one of the things I love the most when I was in dispatch was that the incident types might be the same. However, the situations are always different. Because you can go from, I'll say this, you can go from a couple of people arguing over the fact that one person ate the last, granola bar, or someone yelling at their boyfriend, or the boyfriend upset with the girlfriend because she's throwing out their spam. So the incident type the same,
yeah.
but the actual situation different. Really quick, what was kind of your motivation to want to get into emergency management?
Ever since I was young, emergency or just anything in emergencies, I love. I knew I wanted to do something with, first response, everything like that, but I just love it all. This was, and I know emergency management, I originally started out trying to be a paramedic, but I slowly found out that I live it all, fire, law, EMS. So it quickly became that emergency management was a place for me because it's a little bit of all of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes,
So.
that is awesome. So how much time do you have left then?
I graduate this May.
Oh my gosh, you're so
snap.
close.
Yeah.
So are you just kind of itching already?
I'm in my final 2 classes right now, and I only have a couple papers left and I'm done. So I'm excited.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's one of the things too, and I don't know about you, sir, but one of the things that people don't talk about enough is kind of that side, the emergency management part and what it all comes with. Because I know when I had first started out, we were talking about emergency management. I had no idea. I don't know what it is. I know we've got a cool war room, so to speak, but I'm not sure what it's all about. So, how important do you think it is for those out there to know more about that portion as well?
I mean, before I came to school, I didn't know much about it. It kind of was something I figured out once I came to Western. Like I said, I changed my major once I figured out how important it truly was. When we do have that EOC open in there, we have people from everywhere in there, from the state. They're helping with local response in times of emergencies. We get resources from people around us, other people that have came in here and talked. There's some people that we're talking to during those times. So, and without that, a lot of things wouldn't be able to happen. So
Very true. Very true.
And I love that future leader here in emergency response has dispatch experience and can take care of those folks in emergency as well, because you've been there.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so very much. We're gonna rotate out
Thank
here,
you so much.
and we're happy to be here, and we're also happy to meet you as well. Thank you for everything that you do.
Yes, thank you.
And congratulations.
Yes. Hey. Oh man. Man, I'm all giddy for you.
I know.
For all of it.
Gosh, I remember how good graduating felt, and you're like, I don't have to write any more papers.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you for joining us here. Your name and a little bit of background, please.
My name is Zeb Holland. I also work in the emergency management department, so I dabble in a little bit of everything, just like Caitlin talked about and Todd. My background is in the fire service. That's where I started, but now I'm here. I'm doing a little bit of fire investigating, working the 911 center some. My main job is mapping. I do all the GIS work for our dispatchers.
Oh, wow.
So just a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Jack of all trades.
I
I know
know.
when you have the GIS knowledge, you're like the guru. Everyone comes to you for everything.
I do. Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet. It's nice to be able to help and to make the map better for our dispatchers, because that's definitely a number one priority tool for our dispatchers is to have a good map. But it's also a bad crutch to have as well, because they're like, oh man, the directions were wrong for this call, and it's all your fault. So it's bittersweet having
That's
the job.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes. I remember being in dispatch, and we had just upgraded our CAD system, and it was supposed to have this super awesome map with all these different layers, right? So we were excited about it. But then when we went to add one of those layers, then it was just moving super slow. And I thought, oh,
Yeah,
what do we do?
That's right.
But you're the one who ends up getting to hear all of that
For sure.
and work on it. So that's got to feel satisfying too, to end up getting it just right, so that everybody has that, the map is good.
It is. Yeah, we actually have an interdepartmental messaging system within our CAD. So that final message I send out to all the dispatchers, the map's been updated. Please go look at the new updates. That's a great feeling.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's
Awesome.
never the final. It's always changing, always improving. So
Yes.
that's cool.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's a lot like everything in this business. It's always changing. Nothing's ever the same.
Mhm,
Yeah, for
mhm.
sure. So the dispatch portion of this as well, when you were going through, was it all just full on training, or is it just how did that portion go for you, since you're, like Sarah was saying, kind of a jack of all trades?
Yeah, so I'm actually a graduate of Western Carolina University as well in the emergency management
Oh,
program.
nice.
I also started in a part-time role similar to Caitlin
Mhm.
when I was in college, and then fell in love with it here in Jackson County and stayed. So I'm adopted into Jackson County, I like to say, and it's great being in a small town, smaller county. I came from Buncombe County over in Asheville, so it's a lot different pace with everything. But for me, I was more focused on the emergency management side of things and the fire marshal side of things, and I just wanted to, because I was a part of the department, I wanted to learn how to dispatch too. So it was a slow process for me. Do a little bit of the training, just in my gaps when I had time. So now it's nice to be able to go in there anytime they need help. My office is right across the parking lot, so anytime they get busy, I can run over here and get on a console. So it's a great feeling.
That's awesome.
So I have a question. So you're the second person that we've talked to in a row who started as an intern, went into college, and got a degree in emergency management. I know across the country, hiring and retention is a big problem, and bringing in new blood and bringing the young folks in. Can you talk about why it's important for 911 centers to reach into their community and get interns and support these programs?
Yeah, for sure. I've actually been working with Western Carolina now this past semester and trying to help with their internship program, trying to get some more people in here. It's a bittersweet thing for me because with Todd, he's been here a long time. He's got a lot of great ideas, but a lot of the things that he does and his counterparts do is completely different from what I was taught in school and how I think things should operate. So it's great having both sides and being able to work together to maybe get a common goal. So it's just nice to have all sides of the spectrum with new age and the older age.
Yes, you have the new ideas and you have the experience, and those coming together, you can create something that's right for you. So that's cool.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so very much for everything that you do and for being here with us. It's been awesome.
Yep. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
He looks confused.
I know. We have somebody at the door.
He didn't say old. He said experience.
Oh man, I just caught a glimpse of the big screen that they have us on over there.
I don't want to see it. I'm not looking.
Oh, that is amazing. Someone take a picture of that.
Especially if I'm making a weird face.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes. Hello, and welcome. So we are moving down the list here. We've got other people that are going to be coming in.
We have been taking a lot of pictures.
Oh, great.
We were just told that there's been a lot of pictures taken already.
Awesome.
Just make that face. So thank you so much for being here with us. This has been a lot of fun already. So for the audience, for those who are watching, your name and a little bit of your background, please.
Well, first of all, welcome to SOA.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
It's
area.
so great to
Good.
be
Yes.
here.
I couldn't agree more. My name is Chris Hatton. I'm the chief of police for the Silver Police Department.
Oh,
Yep. And I am
nice to meet you.
Yep. I've been in law enforcement for about 25 years. I've been here. August will be 4 years, and absolutely having the time of my life. Love it here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How did you get started? Do you come from a law enforcement family, or did you just kind of just jump in?
That's a really long story, probably a little longer than you have.
Okay.
But the fast version,
Cliff notes, please.
Yeah.
it's a little different than everybody else's story.
Yeah.
The fast version is when I was young, I got pulled over quite a bit, and I decided that the police were bad, and so so I decided to go to become an SBI agent because that's who investigates the police, right?
Oh.
But what I found when I went to basic training was that this is the most noble group of people I've ever been around. And I've been in lots of different groups. And so I learned the things that I didn't know when I was just a little kid. I was just a young kid, and I found out, got a world-class education about what's real in the world. And so because of that, I knew this was what I was going to do. And to retirement, and maybe even beyond. Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yes, you started out that way, and it switched. I mean, you're the chief now. So
the fun thing is the particular officer in my little small town that liked to pull me over every weekend. The fun thing about him is I actually ended up working with him later through a task force, and he would always say, "I thought you'd end up in jail." And I'd say, "No, actually, I went the other direction."
Yes.
And then he would want to take credit for it.
Oh, of course.
He would say it's because of me that
Yeah.
that's okay. Sure it is. So,
oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So with this week and everything that we're celebrating, how How important is the role of the 911 professional to you?
It can't be understated. I mean, to think about the fact that all of us live our lives as we all do, and at the very drop of a pen, something terrible happens to us, and there's somebody on the other end of the phone that you can call immediately, and they are your absolute caretaker at that moment. They're going to be everything for you in just seconds. They're going to send the help you need. They're going to find out, ask you the questions. They've got training to get, maybe guide you through your own emergency, whatever it is, because a lot of times the first responders may be too far away. So the fact that that resource is there for all of us everywhere. I mean, think about that. No matter where you are, if you dial 911, a human answers the phone, and they do the best they can for you. It's pretty amazing.
Yes, definitely. Oh man, you're
I know that's
you're all of this, and especially your story and everything, just kind of how you started out, and went the other way. I'll say this really quick. When I ended up working in the Central Dispatch in the county that I grew up in, there was years and years and years ago, I was like 15 or something. There was an officer that pulled me over, and I ended up getting a ticket. And years later, I'm in dispatch, and I sent him a message, and I said, "Hey, do you remember me? You used to come into this convenience store that I worked at." I said, "You pulled me over and gave me a ticket once." And I told him that I got in trouble, and he called me up almost immediately, and he goes, "Ricardo, I'm so sorry that I got you in trouble, man." I was like, "Dude, you were doing your job. That's not why I told you. I just thought it was funny that years later, now you and I are working together."
Absolutely.
It's funny the way the world works. And I love that story too, because it shows that you can change. You can change your perspective. Just because you feel one way at a point in your life doesn't mean you can't learn new things. And in your leadership position, it means so much that you're coming here to the 911 center and showing your appreciation. Not everywhere has that kind of relationship, and so important. So thank you for doing that and being here for them.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here today. Yeah. And doing this for 25 years, how many times has a telecommunicator done something that kept me safe? Right.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
No way to know.
Oh yeah.
No way to know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the job that you do, and for coming on and sharing these stories with us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to be switching out here really quick as we continue to move on. All right, sir. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you. Now, same thing. And if you can scoot in here just a little, there we go. I heard that. I really didn't want to be on camera, guy.
Beside.
I know. So, your name and a little bit of your background, please.
My name is Doug Farmer. I'm Sheriff of Jackson County. Elected this year. Took office December 5th. 23 plus years in law enforcement. Silva PD that you just interviewed, Chief. I worked for them. That's the last department I worked for before I retired. I've started my career in Macon County Sheriff's Office, and then worked a short stint with Holland PD. Then I went to Iraq for a year, trained police officer in Iraq, and then came to Silva PD, and then eventually won the sheriff's race here and took over as sheriff. So
wow. Well, congratulations for getting elected and everything as well.
Congrats.
And just, all of these years of service, thank you for that. Do you come from, law enforcement family, or was it kind of like a lot of other people who have friends that say, "You know what, I think you'd be really good at this. You should try it"?
No, my family, one or two was in security, and some of my distant family there was law enforcement, but my dad thought I was crazy for choosing this profession. So,
Which made you want to do it more, right?
Yes. But whenever I was in grade school, I always had the desire. I thought, well, I want to be a game warden, and it just went from there. And I didn't go to school until I was 34 for law enforcement training. So went through that and just got the bug, and I couldn't get it out of my system. So here I am 23 and a half years later. So.
Wow. Do you recall like a moment where you caught that bug? Like, was it just, in training, or was it, something that just really hit you and you thought, this is for me?
I think working in public service, I worked several jobs as public service, and just working in those. I enjoy talking to people, helping people. And, I know that probably sounds cliche, law enforcement, I want to help people, but that's what I've done. I worked EMS for a few years, work for a cancer center. So I do desire to help people and help them improve their lives and help them in bad situations. So that's what we all desire to do. So, and I think it's a calling.
Yes,
I don't
for
think
sure.
it's not just a job. And if you enjoy what you do, you'll never go to work a day in your life. So, and I enjoy what I do. So.
Yes, I fully believe that, but also I always tell people, it's not for like the pay. It's not why we're doing this. It is definitely a calling.
It is, and you know, and I know it's Telecommunicators Week, so I don't want to talk about myself, but these guys are the lifeblood, and they are the heartbeat of what takes place. The calls come in, they put it out there. They're the calm voice in chaos. So we can't do our job without them, and they've got our back. We've got theirs, and we're just one big family. So working with them in all the different agencies, emergency management, we've gotten so integrated. When we do an operation or something, it's not just one of us; it's all of us. Mm-hmm. So we're just a big family. So
that is excellent.
That is. It's not like that everywhere, and you really do have something special here. We can feel it the way you all talk about each other and are here for each other.
Well, we rib on each other quite a bit too. So.
Well, that's part of it. Yes, yes.
It wouldn't be family if you did it right.
So. If you can't laugh, what are we even doing?
Yeah, that's
exactly. Yes.
But I'll brag on my officers at our office. I've got a great group of guys and gals. They do a tremendous job, and I couldn't ask for better people to be working alongside of. So I applaud them as well for everything that they've done to make me look better. And but it's actually them doing the work. But the work that they do makes me look good. So, but I appreciate them, and I appreciate all the guys here at the Telecommunicators.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for everything that you do, and your outlook on all of this as well. Because just like Sarah was saying, not a lot of places have this, so it is awesome to be able to hear that and feel it as well coming from you. So thank you for being here with us, and just for everything that you do. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we're going to be switching out here. We've got we're continuing our list here again. As I mentioned before. We're going to be going through and speaking with several folks, and then we're going to be taking a break here in just a little bit. We've got a few more that we're going to be going through, and then we'll have some giveaways that are coming up afterwards. All right, so we've got about 4 or so more that are going to be coming up here, but hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So your name, please, for everybody who is watching, and then a little bit of your background.
Sure. So I'm Stephanie Brackett. I'm from Henderson County Sheriff's Office. I've been in the 911 field it'll be 16 years in about 2 weeks, actually, is my anniversary. So
happy anniversary.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you.
anniversary.
May 1st will be my anniversary.
Your career can drive now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Driving.
I love that. No, that was
It
good.
was great. Yeah, absolutely. Helps calm the nerves down. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're super happy to have you here with us. And we've got people already. So we've got a Joshua here saying, yay, Stephanie. Titan, hey, Stephanie, we love you. Yes. So this is good. So we got people jumping in here.
Yes, all of the people in Henderson County that are working have me on our big screen in the center. They've already sent me pictures. So
I was going to say, make sure you take a picture.
Yes. Let's go.
Yes. Yeah. That is excellent. So a little bit about, kind of how you got started, maybe some calls and stuff. And then I also want to hit on a retreat. You were at a retreat, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Oh, you're at the retreat. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Light bulb moment. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So my husband actually got me into it. He's one of our local firemen. And I came from a background in social work. And so we got to talking, and he said, I think you would do really good at this. I went and sat with a friend of mine, fell in love with it. And like you said, once it gets in your blood, you can't turn it off. So here I am. I'm still doing it. And I tease my husband. I get to tell him what to do at home and at work, because we dispatch for his fire department too. So
that's incredible.
Yes.
So yeah. Just recently, I know you've been talking about older calls, but I have to share one of my recent calls.
Of course, yeah.
I actually took a structure fire where a girl was trapped. And I was able to talk her into finding a window close by, and she was able to get out. Well, because my husband was on the scene there, he was able to take me back the next day, and I got to meet her in person. it's one of the first times that I've ever gotten to meet somebody that I've talked to. So that was amazing. It was so
Wow.
neat. Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. And to get to see that side of things too and kind of put all the pieces together, it was really, really great.
Oh man,
That's
that
a really cool story.
was
Yeah, it was
Yes.
awesome. It was really amazing. I can't say enough good things about it. It was such a neat experience.
that doesn't happen all the time.
Mm-mm.
That doesn't always happen. And closure, is a huge thing. You don't get to find out a lot of that stuff. But the fact that you actually, because we were talking about it earlier, Rescue 911, you got that kind of Rescue 911 ending where a lot of those episodes, the dispatcher call taker got to meet the folks that they help. So that is amazing.
And I know
well
we
done
talked
to your husband. Yeah.
Sorry. I know we talked about people who call 911 and it's just a voice on the other end to them sometimes, but you as a dispatcher getting to put like a human body to the voice that you saved that day. Like I can't even imagine. Does it bring like some more love and joy to your job having had that experience?
Yes, it does. Like I said, it was so amazing. And it actually, the girl that was the victim of the fire was a former officer's sister. So it kind of came back full
Wow.
circle, and it was
What?
really neat to get to meet everybody and her family and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. And I love that story because that's something that you're going to be able to hold on to for the rest of your career and beyond that. But also if you're ever taking, a hard call or anything like that, that's something that you can look back onto and remember. And I want to say this really quick. I'm going to throw it on screen, but my baby girl, proud mama.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Oh, that is great. That is awesome. So we got all of these folks that are jumping in here and saying hello. And so that is excellent. So before we end up moving on with, as we continue down the list and everything, I want to hear a little bit more about the retreat that you went to and just how that was for you. How was that type of impact for you?
Sure. So there was a group of 13 of us, I think, that went to the Outer Banks. We rented a huge house there, 3-story house. So we all got to stay in the same place, but all have our own room. And we had classes on our mental health, and it was absolutely amazing. I didn't realize just how much I needed it until I had went. But the people I met were awesome. We had Ryan Chambers' dog there for therapy, and that was Chase was amazing.
Love Chase.
He was wonderful. Kept us entertained the whole week. But I actually was able to bring back some resources from my center too. And I'm a shift supervisor there, so I had a couple of things that I could share with my shift. And I feel like mental health is overlooked a lot of times in our field. And so the fact that they're starting to recognize that is huge for me. So yeah.
That is awesome. Yes, no,
Very cool.
that is very cool. And Chase is awesome. I met him in Alabama and at that conference. And I had gone up and talked to Ryan there for a little bit, and he just kind of like smashed himself into my legs. And Ryan just kind of looked at me. I was like, does your dog know that I need like a hug or something? And he goes, he can feel it. And I was like, oh, come here.
Yes, he leaned into every one of us at that retreat. So he could feel that we all needed to be there. And I couldn't say enough good things about it when I got back. And I just hope that everybody eventually will get the chance to go to one of those, because it was a week I'll never forget, really. So
And I love that you said, not everybody does get to go, but you brought what you learned, what you could back to your center. And that's what it's all about. That's how we get the change, because not everyone gets to experience, being there. But when we go and can come back and share,
right.
That's what lifts everyone up.
Absolutely.
Amazing. We're gonna have to do like a separate episode to go a little bit deeper into a lot of this stuff. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I will be in touch with you.
Sure.
Thank you so much for coming on here really quick and sharing a little bit about yourself, but also to be able to honor you and so many others during this week. And we've got people here.
Oh,
There's
right.
like North
Ryan says, "Go
Carolina's showing
Stephanie."
up.
Hi.
Yeah. Ryan is in there as well. And so thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for
having me.
everything
I
that you do.
appreciate it.
And I'm glad that you had such a great experience, not just at the retreat, but also with the closure with this most recent call. Like that is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
Yes, very nice meeting you. This has been awesome.
Yes.
This has been really good.
Right?
Thank you all for joining us here. Please make sure to share this broadcast out there to everyone so that they're able to see. And we have more comments and questions and everything that'll be going on. And Jasper says, well, if Stephanie is done, I guess we should turn the 911 lines back on. Great job. And thank you for what you do. That is awesome. And Ryan says, thank you again, Ricardo, for sponsoring the retreat. It was an honor and a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to the other ones that are going to be coming up as well. Hello. All right. Thank you for joining us here. So as we've done with everyone, your name and a little bit of your background, please.
My name is Brian McMahan, and currently I'm the fire chief at Balsam Fire Department here in Jackson County. I have served, I've got several connections here to the 911 center. My first job was here at 911 as a telecommunicator. I worked here for 5 years, and then I went on and was elected county commissioner, chairman of the county commissioners, and served for 16 years and was responsible for helping building this facility. And
Wow.
I've served on the legislative study committee that helped the expansion of the 911 board. So I've had a lot of experience with 911 over the years, and it's a great resource, and I enjoyed my days here very much.
Wow. So you've got a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of experience and everything. That's great.
Yeah.
How did you jump in to begin with?
Well, with 911, I joined the fire department, and of course, when you're on the fire department, you're interacting with dispatchers, and I knew some dispatchers, and they said, you ought to come down and consider working here. And so a job came open, and I took the job, and I was hooked immediately. It was awesome.
Man. So that's one of the things that we keep hearing as well, and I want to turn this over to you because I kind of hear you. Yes, exactly that.
Trying to speak.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
That's okay. So we had Congresswoman Norma Torres on earlier, who was a dispatcher, worked her way up and is a Congresswoman now, but continues to be a voice for 911. And I feel like your story is similar in that you had that experience. And then through your career, you were an advocate to get this building, get funding. I'm sure your work as a fire chief, you can have that respect and teach others, these are a lifeline, these folks. So I don't know where I'm going with that. I just
I think where you're going, and which is the proof that we always know that in emergency services, telecommunicators, the 911 is the hub.
Yes.
It is the most critical link to the whole emergency network. And so it's important. And to be able to, I understood that very early on, and no matter what capacity I've been in, whether it's been a consumer or part of the legislative process of helping fund or being as a responder, I always go back to the fact that these folks are in the center. These are the critical link that keeps us all together.
Yes, and I would encourage those out there who, if you do happen to move on, to remember where you came from, and these folks always need help. Always, like, it's always changing. There's always new technology. We always have to invest in our people, as somebody said earlier, and we need advocates. And thank you for continuing to do that.
When I walked in here today, one of the memories that came back is my first day on the job as a dispatcher. My boss at that time, he had hired me, and I looked up, and they had a structure fire in Cullowhee, and he took off through the parking lot, and I saw him go through the parking lot, and all of a sudden, the next thing I knew, he had been burned at the fire scene, and my first call I dispatched was an ambulance to take care of him. So it was sort of a nerve-wracking experience. That very first call that I ever dispatched was for my boss that I just saw leave the office, 30 minutes earlier.
My gosh, that just goes to show what kind of a job this is, what kind of job fire service is. Just, you never know, and you're there for each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was not expecting you to go there. I wasn't expecting it to go that way. Yeah. How important do you feel? And I feel like the both of you were kind of getting to this as well, in what you were saying a moment ago, but the importance of bridging that gap between all of the agencies, especially for 911, because I feel like a lot of the things, or a lot of reasons that maybe there might be moments where people might not be getting along or whichever, it's only because we don't all know what each other does.
Exactly. And I don't care whether it's Little League or if it's government, or if it's church, or whatever kind of event you're in, communication is the key. And that is the one word that you can think of that defines 911 communication.
Mhm.
And so dispatchers are a part of that bond that pull people together to help us communicate better. And when we communicate better, we function better.
Yep.
Exactly. Yes. Very nice. Thank you so very much for
Absolutely.
being on here and for the job that you do, and the stories there as well. Thank you.
Okay. Thank
very
you so much.
Thank you. That's so cool. It's like from
Yes.
a movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't have to take a call for any of my bosses or anything, but I had a coworker once who was involved in a car accident. And yeah, go ahead, come on right in here. And I had to talk to him on 911, and he had no idea that it was me. Like even his sister, who was also an officer, jumped on, was like, it's us. But it never registered because it was in that moment of, the things that were going on. It was pretty nerve wracking. So I can understand what he was saying. So if you can scoot in here just a little more. I know. Bring it in for the real thing. So welcome.
Thank you.
And your name and some background, please.
My name's Matthew Burrell. I am the EMS manager for Harris EMS here in the county. I'm also a volunteer fireman with Boston Fire Department.
All right. Excellent. Now, have you worked in dispatch at all?
No, I have had the opportunity to go in there and sit down a couple times and
Yes.
kind of watch what they do. And Belinda has been more than willing to let me go in there and try to learn. And I've learned that it's way too hard of a job for me. Yeah.
I was gonna say, because there have been there were times where I was in dispatch as well, and one time that I can think of specifically, we had a lot of trees and wires down during the storm, and there were a couple officers, a deputy, as well as a city PD. They came in to help us, and it was maybe an hour, and they're like, hell no, like we are done. And they ended up splitting it, and we're like, all right, thanks, can you bring us food? So that at least worked. But that's also good that you knew right away, it's not for me.
Right. I'll go in there for a few minutes every now and again, I'll help them talk on the radio, but answering the phones. Todd got mad at me one time. I didn't ask enough questions. Apparently, you get a whole lot of questions you got to ask.
Yeah.
I asked the things I
Just a
need to
little
know. Hung up the phone. Said helps on the way. He like to had a stroke when that happened, but it's fine.
Right. That's when they're like, hey, you need to call them back right now.
Yeah.
I thought I did everything I was supposed to do. So with this week and everyone that you work with as well, like how important to you, in your opinion, how important is the job of, 911 front line, these 911 professionals that are answering these calls?
These folks, to me, are the first of the first responders. They're the ones who are taking the information down, who are sending us where we need to go. A lot of my staff are not from this area, so they don't know the county as well as some of us do. And these dispatchers are able to give us pretty much turn-by-turn directions and have us to exactly where we need to be to take care of what we need to take care of. So they're a wonderful group. I have had the privilege of working with them for a long time, and they're great to work with. And a lot of them personally are friends as well, so that definitely helps.
Nice. Awesome. Sarah?
Family atmosphere.
Yes. This is always good. This has been good to come in here and have all of you here and to share this. And it seems like just the way you said, the family atmosphere, everyone seems to be together and just really working like a well-oiled machine, the way it's supposed to be, right? And it's always good to be able to have folks that recognize the importance of each other's position in 911.
Absolutely. We are very fortunate in this county to get along as well as we do. Not to say that we don't have our difference of opinions a lot of times.
Right.
Myself, you've seen Todd in here, how charismatic he is. He and I sometimes get into it, but
The big personality.
yeah, but we're over it in about 2 minutes. So
That's perfect.
it's just the culture we have here.
That is excellent. Yeah. And the culture is definitely changing and has been changing for a long time. And I don't know about you, Sarah, but you can definitely feel it here.
Yes. And I love that we get to present you all and others get to see what happens when it works well and that it's possible.
Well, thank you very much for being here and sharing a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. So we've got another person that's going to be jumping in here with us. All right. So let me ask really quick, if you can switch the headphones the other way so the wire's on your left.
It had to be me, didn't it?
Well, I was gonna say it like 4 people ago. The only reason I'm saying is because with every time someone would turn, the wire is here, and I don't want anybody to choke.
Because we're in a good place.
I was going to say
That's true. Yeah, if it were to happen, we're in a good place. But I don't know if you felt it on your neck when you're turning to your right to talk to us. I just want to make sure that you're comfortable.
I'm so nervous. I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
oh, don't be nervous.
no, this is good. As you can see, we've been joking and everything here. So this has been fun. So your name, please, and a little bit of your background.
My name is Michael Forbus. I'm fire marshal here for Jackson County and been fortunate enough to work with Todd directly for about 11 years now.
All right, excellent. So how did you get into all this to begin with?
That's a funny story. My family historically, I grew up on a farm and I came to school at Western, like a lot of people you've talked to today.
Yeah.
And I started fighting fire with the North Carolina Forest Service and started getting into emergency services. Never had any desire to be in emergency services. Did that for about 10 years. And then this job came open, applied for it, and was lucky enough to get it.
Wow, man.
So just fell in love with emergency services from the beginning.
So all of this that you've been doing and everything, your experience and all, which one do you like more?
Who's your favorite child?
I know. Yeah. It's basically what I'm asking, right?
That's a tough question to answer. I enjoy working here, especially because every day is a different job.
Yeah.
That's the way I describe emergency services to people that have never done it.
Yeah.
You go into work every day and you don't know what you're going to be doing. The telecommunicators, that we're here to honor this week, every time that phone rings, they have no idea what they're getting into. It could be an easy call. It could be the toughest call they've ever answered. So
that was a very good answer.
Are you in politics?
No,
Maybe you should be.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. I would vote for you.
Okay. Well, maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll see.
I have a random question. I'm just coming from knowing nothing. So many people have mentioned Western. Do you think that college and their programming really feeds the professionals that you have in this area? Because it seems like a lot of people just happen to fall into 911, but when you have some training in school and internships and that, I think it makes a real difference.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I think the college does do that, but what I think feeds it more is the community. The community that we have, because not growing up here and moving here, everybody that you've talked to today, they've always treated me, like I grew up here, like I was one of them. And I think that's more of it than the college. And I hate to say that as an alumni, but it's the community and it's the emergency service community and the community of Jackson County. Because you saw, or actually you've heard from everybody today that we work different than most places. I've been fortunate to work across the state and out west on fires, and I can tell you that we get along here better than most places. It is. It's a sense of community. It really is.
That's awesome.
Man, that was a good question.
and a better answer. Yeah.
That was very good. Well, thank you so very much for being on with us and talking. You mentioned being nervous. You would never know. No one would have ever known.
Except when you tried to hang yourself before talking to us. That was the only signal we got.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for everything. All right, so we are trucking along here.
Okay.
All right, so we've got 2 more folks. And then we'll be taking a quick break.
I have a message for you. Don't read out loud.
It wasn't good. Nobody can see it.
Okay.
I might even read it.
You don't get the message anymore.
Oh, well.
Go this way.
I've been told. Yes. There you go. Yes. Yes, over here on this side.
Well, we're fine. Everything's fine.
I get told that every single day. Actually.
Oh, wait, what? That everything's fine?
No, to get fired.
Oh.
Shouldn't say that.
Huh?
Running joke we got.
Yeah, well, welcome.
Like,
Welcome. We are happy to have you here. And your name and a little bit of your background, please.
my name is Lydia Weilopeck. I am a dispatcher here for Jackson County. I also work for the Coley Fire Department there, volunteer. So, and I've been here for about 2 years. So.
All right, excellent. So, how did you get involved to begin with?
Well, I started at the fire department, and then I saw a job opening for this, and I was like, you know what, I'm already kind of half involved in what emergency services was, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I didn't get it at first, but then there was another opening, so I was like, I'll try again, and I ended up getting it. And I've been liking it so far.
What was intriguing about it? Was it kind of hearing some of the the radio traffic and everything, and just wondering, or did you get a chance to do a sit along? Or
one of the people actually that she doesn't work here anymore, but she told me so much about it, how it was just it was a good atmosphere. There's good people to work along with. I do work with some really good people, and she just talks so much about the atmosphere. And yeah, there's difficult calls. Yeah, there's good calls sometimes. And it just she said it was a chance to grow, to learn, to serve your community, and that's what I was looking for.
Awesome.
So
very cool.
Yeah.
So word again, community.
Yes.
Yep. And serve. We've heard that a lot.
Serve and
today.
community. Yes, that has been very good. So how about this week? How important is this week, and also, that recognition for everything that you all do within the trenches of 911?
I think it's important to kind of get an awareness of it, and I think it's pretty cool that we, from what I've heard from older, more seasoned dispatchers, that we didn't used to get a lot of recognition for it. So the fact that we have like an entire week to just kind of broaden people's minds on it, and to kind of talk about it, and I think it's pretty cool. So
there has been a lot of that change, right? I mean, within your group, Sarah, has there been a lot of talk, like the same way that she's saying that, that the culture is changing, but more recognition than there was before?
Yes. So I'll tell you.
I love that you sang that.
So in the 911 Wonder Woman Facebook group, we have over 13,000 women in there, and it is like a Facebook group, like when people post so much, you can hardly keep up. Well, this week is just photos and encouragement and love. And it's just like, boom, 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 boom. You have to kind of catch up on a couple of days worth of posts, because everybody not only wants to do something for their dispatchers, but they want to share it. And they want to get others involved as much as possible, which is not, with social media, it's a little easier to do. So yeah, I've definitely noticed like the pride in doing something for your 911 telecommunicators is there. And that's what breeds more. So it's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is something that, as we go into just the closing of this portion with you, what is something that you would want those who are watching, those who are watching that are with the general public, to know more about what it is, the job that you do?
When I first started, I basically thought it was just, just call taking. And now that I've heard so many of the, the older not older dispatchers, but, the more seasoned ones, of how serious, it is important to take this job seriously, but not to take it too seriously.
Right.
Are we done? Have we been cut off?
No. Someone leaned on the lights. I was like, okay, I'll stop talking now.
Speaking of not taking it too seriously, and I love you thought you ran into it. You were like, look at that.
That was awesome, because I was about to look up and just like have my eyes super open and stuff, like, what happened?
That was perfect timing. You gotta laugh, right?
We do have a ghost here, so I thought it was him.
Oh, I didn't know we had a ghost.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Does this
His
ghost have a
name is
name?
Bill. I think his name is Bill.
Oh, Bill the ghost.
So
Hi, Bill.
Watches over us.
Oh man, someone is going to be watching this later on in the replay and be like, we could see a silhouette.
Oh God, probably.
Bill's here with us.
Yes. Kimber over here says, that's your time. It also says, hey, Bill. And then Tina says, spooky. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us here
This was
and
fun.
yeah, sharing some of you, and thank you for the job that you do.
No problem.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Anyone
Yes.
that wants to do it, it's a good job. Yeah, it's a tough job, but I think it's worth it in the end. So
Yes.
yeah.
There you go, right there. You heard it here. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Also, I like that shirt.
Thank you.
All right, we've got one more person here, and then
I feel like
we're
they
going to
should
be
have-
taking a quick break.
I feel like they should have disclosed the fact that there's ghost here before we arrived.
Dude, right?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Oh my gosh,
Hello,
I
hello.
love your look, everything.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the glasses. I dig
Yes,
the glasses,
yes.
all of it. Yes. So if you can scoot in here just a little more so that everyone else can
Oh yes,
see
we can
you as
admire.
well.
We can admire your style
Yes.
together.
So, your name, please, and a little bit about yourself.
It's Stephanie again. I've been working here for almost 20 years. It will be 20 years on October.
Excellent.
Yep, I enjoy it a lot, of course. It can be difficult, but it's been worth it.
What are some of the things that you enjoy the most about it?
I think it's kind of a challenge in a way. You might think that you've heard everything, but something new will always come up.
Yes.
There's, of course, being able to help people, being able to help the community, being a part of community. That's always very nice.
Yep. Yep.
It's rewarding.
So, how did you get involved? I mean, is it you just kind of fell in? Do you have family? Were there friends like, hey, you should try this out?
I've lived here my entire life, but I was in my early 20s when I saw an advertisement for a job with Jackson County 911. I considered it, but ended up changing my mind. Then when I was around 28, I saw a job opening again and thought, well, I'm going to go for it. I thought I might be interested in it. Ended up I was.
Very
In it for the
cool.
long haul.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So, what was that like in the beginning then? Did you get a chance to do a sit along, or did you just go through the hiring process and they're like, come on in, and bam, that was it?
That was pretty much so it.
Oh.
Yes.
So you didn't know what you were walking into.
No, I really didn't. I was honest in the interview. They were asking me things. What would you do in this situation? What would you do in that situation? I was like, oh, not quite sure, but hopefully training would help with that. I gave the best answers I could. And I ended up coming in. I was sitting with a few other dispatchers a few times. Then I went into the training process, straight into it, into dispatching.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was
So-
a bit different then.
when you went in for that interview, was it like a panel interview, or did you just have one or two people, and were they just firing questions off at you?
There was a panel interview,
Mhm.
first interview, and then I went in and met with a couple of the dispatchers. Also had a little interview with them.
Oh,
That's cool. I'm
yes.
sure that was fun for them.
Yeah. And the reason I asked too is because a couple of the interviews that I had, and there were people that were just firing questions and everything at me. I later on realized they were doing it that way as well, because it was kind of a test too, to see if I could handle that pressure of all of these questions and how fast I could answer, if I could think on my feet. And both times I thought, wow, I got this. Like, this is awesome. Like, this is fun. But then you get into it and you're like, do I have this?
Yeah, definitely. It's always a huge learning curve when you first start.
Mhm.
And most of my coworkers told me there will be a point where you think, am I insane for doing this? Am I going to be able to do this? And there
Yes.
will be a call where you really have to ask yourself and challenge yourself, can I continue with this? If you make it past that point, you've got a pretty good shot.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yes. So how important is this week for you, but also, for your colleagues or all of the 911 call takers and dispatchers out there?
I think it's very important. It's nice to have some recognition. There were years without recognition, so it is really nice to see it. It's nice to see dispatchers around the U.S., getting to be a part of this. It's nice to see things like improved talks on burnout and on
Yes.
several different things that dispatchers go through.
Yep.
It's been really nice to see the progression over the years. I hope it continues.
People are starting to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think before it was suck it up, don't say anything. We're learning that talking about it actually helps.
It does.
Yes. Yes. I love what Amy says here. Learn to never to say, I've heard everything. The universe will show you differently.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, that is very true. Yes. Yeah, you're basically tempting fate.
Mhm. You are.
when you bring that part up. Yes, no, definitely. Well, thank you so very much for jumping on here and sharing a little bit about yourself and especially for the job that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Bye.
All right. So we are going to wrap it up here. And we've got one more here.
Yes.
As you see the door opening over here, we've got someone who's going to be jumping on. You can see the look on her face already. Sarah.
Here she is.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, you guys should see. So we have two doors, and they have long, thin windows. And Sarah is out there direct. She's like a studio director, you in, you out, you in, you out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for keeping us on the ball and going through this. We've got another half that's going to be coming up, but we wanted to bring Sarah on here to say thank you for everything that you've done, putting all of this together. I mean, there's a lot of coordination that went into this. We had a call last night as well. I don't remember what time. It was like 9:30 or something like that. I was eating dinner at the time as we're talking and going through all of this, but again, we wanted to, from the bottom of our hearts and everything, to say thank you for the coordination, but also for the job that you did in dispatch as well. How important is all of this to you?
Oh, it's very important. They are the most important first responder, I think. And dispatch allowed me to take the tools that I learned and do this, organize. You have to organize calls, all the responders, everything going on. And that's why I can do this to help y'all today.
We need people like you. Otherwise, stuff like this doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah. I ask people all the time, how have there ever been any moments where you've had to dip into your dispatching skills to navigate certain situations? And just as you said, something like this, you're doing it now. So this is awesome.
Working with Pokey Harris every day. Every day. We are very nimble. Very nimble. Mm-hmm.
I can't read what that says.
We are Pokey's PPAs, her personal assistants. That's what we call ourselves.
Pokey's personal assistants. Yes. Stay tuned for the tattoo because everyone's going to get one right there.
That's the best answer I've ever heard.
That was amazing. Again, this has been awesome to be able to do this and be here, but have you coordinating this. And Pokey's over there smiling and everything. And I have to say really quick, right before Sarah walked in, I wish I could have turned the camera because she was kind of pushing you. And it's like a person who's never been on a roller coaster and they're about to take that first dip and they're like, oh, no.
There may have been a physical assault happening outside the door.
There was.
We'll
I'm glad it
investigate.
wasn't on camera.
Film at 11. Yeah, no, it was funny, but I'm so glad that Pokey was able to throw you into the chairs for you to move over here.
Literally.
Yes, and to be able to jump on and to do this because your part of this has been just phenomenal. And just thank you so very much for all of it.
You're welcome. Thank you to all the telecommunicators out there for everything you do.
All right. We are going to wrap up this first portion. We're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to come back with another section of folks that are going to be coming on virtually, and we're also going to be going through some giveaways as well. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back here in just one moment. Check you later.